Okay, let's dive into this. We are building what are easily the most powerful tools in human history. AI that can learn, create, and decide things on its own. But here's the massive paradox, right? These incredible systems, they don't have a conscience. They have zero morality. And that means the responsibility for everything they do, well, that lands squarely on our shoulders.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi movie plot. This is happening today, right now. An algorithm could be the reason you get denied for a loan, it could influence a doctor's diagnosis, or it could be piloting the car in the lane next to you. So this question isn't some theoretical thing for a philosophy class. It's one of the most urgent, practical questions of our time. When the code messes up, who takes the blame?
To even start to answer that, we really need to get a handle on what we're up against. This general anxiety around AI ethics isn't just one big blob of worry. It's actually a collection of really specific interconnected fears. So let's break down the 5 big challenges that basically everyone is wrestling with.
First up is bias. And here's the thing you absolutely have to understand. AI isn't born biased. It learns. It learns from the data we feed it. So if our data on hiring or loan applications is packed with decades of human prejudice, well, the AI learns those exact same patterns. It becomes a kind of high-tech echo of our own worst instincts, and a lot of the time it makes them even louder.
Next, there's privacy. AI is hungry. It's data hungry. The more personal info it can get its hands on, the smarter it gets. But that sets up this huge trade-off, doesn't it? We're basically handing over our digital lives to make these things work better, which opens up these massive questions about who actually controls our information and what they should be allowed to do with it.
And this leads us to one of the biggest headaches for developers, the black box problem. See, with the most advanced AIs today, even the people who created them can't always tell you exactly why it made a certain decision. The logic is all tangled up in millions of calculations. It's like trying to audit a magic trick, which makes finding errors or hidden biases almost impossible.
Which brings us right back to accountability. Let's take that classic example. A self-driving car gets into an accident. Who's at fault? Is it the person who is technically in the driver's seat? The car company that built the system? Or maybe the programmer who wrote that one specific line of code that glitched? In this automated world, the lines of who's responsible just get incredibly blurry.
And finally, there's the really critical issue of just plain safety. We're putting AI into the real physical world now, in robots, in cars, even in weapons. Without rock-solid, hardcore testing, a software bug isn't just a computer crash anymore. It's a potential real-world physical danger.
So, we've laid out the core fears. The obvious answer seems to be, well, let's just make some rules, right? Well, this is where the problem goes global. Because getting everyone in the world to agree on one single set of ethics for AI, that might just be impossible. Just look at the hurdles we're facing. Different cultures have completely different ideas about something as basic as privacy. Every country has its own legal framework. You've got nations locked in this fierce competition for tech supremacy. And all the while, the technology is moving so blindly fast that any law you manage to pass is basically obsolete the second it's signed. This question, it really just puts the whole challenge into perspective, doesn't it? If humanity, after thousands of years, still can't agree on a universal set of rights for ourselves, the idea that we're going to quickly hammer out a rulebook for our most complex technology feels a little optimistic, to say the least. And here's the crucial tension. We are in a global AI arms race. Nations are all competing to build up what's called AI capital. That's the magic mix of data, talent, and computing power that's going to define who's on top for the next century. And in a race like that, the push for innovation and speed often just steamrolls the slow, careful, and frankly, boring work of making sure everything is safe. Okay, I know that all sounds pretty daunting, but the story absolutely does not end there. The conversation is really starting to shift away from just identifying problems and toward actually designing solutions. So let's look at how we can start putting humans back in the driver's seat. The way forward is being built around a few key principles like these. Probably the most important one is human oversight, what a lot of people call the human in the loop. All it means is that AI is a tool, not the boss. A person has to be there to supervise, to make the final call, to be the common sense check. It's about building these systems for safety from the get-go, demanding transparency so we can crack open that black box, and creating clear lines so someone is always accountable. And this is where it all comes back to you. Real, meaningful change won't just be handed down from on high by governments or big corporations. It's going to come from the ground up.
It's when the public, when we, collectively demand AI that's responsible, transparent, and safe, that we create the pressure to turn these good ideas into actual laws and industry standards. So as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty clear this isn't just about some new cool tech. This is about the next chapter in the entire story of humanity. And the wild thing is, right now, we're the ones holding the pen. And that's really the main takeaway here. Nothing about the future of AI is written in stone. It's not inevitable. We're not just spectators watching this unfold. We are standing at a massive fork in the road. And by engaging, by asking questions, by demanding better, we actually have the power to decide which path we take. Ultimately, maybe the best way to think about AI is as a mirror. It learns from our data, our history, our behaviors, all of our best moments, and all of our worst flaws. It just reflects us. So the final question isn't really about the machine at all. It's about us. What kind of humanity do we want to show it? What do we want it to reflect back? That question, that is the final chapter of the book on AI and society. And it's a chapter we're all writing together.